In the bustling city of Lagos, Nigeria, prophetess Elizabeth built a powerful reputation. Her church, God's Holy Fire Ministry, stood tall in the heart of the community, attracting thousands seeking miracles. Elizabeth was known for her intense prayers, ability to heal the sick, and cast out demons. People whispered about her divine connection, and the church overflowed with believers desperate for healing. She laid hands on the blind, and they saw; she touched the lame, and they walked. The barren became mothers, and the tormented found peace. She was feared and revered, but unknown to her followers, her power came not from God but from dark forces. Beneath the church, in a hidden chamber, she performed blood rituals, making sacrifices to maintain her unholy strength. Elizabeth's influence spread beyond her church. Politicians sought her prayers, businessmen paid heavily for blessings, and barren women offered gifts for children. She lived in luxury, draped in expensive garments, her home a palace of wealth and power. The city whispered in awe of her miracles, and her fame reached beyond Nigeria. But among the crowd was an old man named Baba Dogo, a former herbalist who had turned to Christianity. He watched Elizabeth with suspicion. He had seen true miracles before, and something about her power unsettled him. While the world praised her, he began to investigate, determined to uncover the truth. Strange occurrences began to unfold around the church. Some who were healed mysteriously fell ill again, this time with greater suffering. A young woman claimed that she saw prophetess Elizabeth's eyes turn red during a healing session. Another man who had worked as her church assistant suddenly disappeared without a trace. Baba Dogo, alongside a few faithful Christians, decided to fast and pray, seeking divine revelation. As they prayed, dreams and visions revealed a disturbing truth: Elizabeth was not who she claimed to be. The spirit world had begun to expose her secrets, and the battle lines were drawn. One fateful night, a young boy named Chinedu, who had been mute since birth, suddenly spoke after a healing session. But instead of rejoicing, he screamed in fear, pointing at prophetess Elizabeth and calling her a servant of darkness. The congregation gasped in shock, murmurs spreading like wildfire. Elizabeth tried to silence the boy, but the damage was done. Baba Dogo and his prayer warriors seized the moment, shouting, "The truth has come to light. This is not a woman of God but a servant of the devil." Panic swept through the church, and many fled, while others stayed, demanding answers. News spread quickly across the city. Journalists, religious leaders, and even the government took notice. People who once trusted Elizabeth now questioned everything. Testimonies surfaced from those who had witnessed her dark rituals but were too afraid to speak. A former member revealed that she had made them swear oaths of secrecy under threats of spiritual torment. Elizabeth fought back, denying all allegations. She performed more miracles to prove her innocence, but her power was weakening. The more people rejected her, the less influence she had. The forces that once served her began to demand greater sacrifices, and fear gripped her heart. Among Elizabeth's closest followers was Deacon Samuel, a man who had been with her since the beginning. Seeing the tide turning, he feared for his own safety. Late one night, he met with Baba Dogo and confessed everything: how Elizabeth had initiated him into the dark arts, the sacrifices, and the source of her power. With this information, Baba Dogo gathered strong men of faith and stormed the church. They prayed and fasted, calling upon the true power of God to break Elizabeth's grip on the city. As they prayed, Elizabeth's body shook violently, her voice distorted, and she screamed, "You do not know what you are doing. If I go down, many will fall with me." The church became a battleground between light and darkness. Baba Dogo and the prayer warriors surrounded Elizabeth, rebuking her in the name of God. The ground trembled, and a dark cloud formed above the church. Elizabeth shrieked, her body twisting unnaturally as unseen forces tried to fight back. One by one, her loyal followers collapsed, confessing their sins. Deacon Samoa fell to his knees, sobbing. The air grew heavy, and with a final desperate scream, Elizabeth collapsed, her body lifeless. A thick darkness lifted, and peace returned. But the battle was not over. The city had to cleanse itself from her influence. With Elizabeth gone, her empire crumbled. The church building, once a symbol of hope, was abandoned. Her wealth vanished, seized by authorities. Many of her former followers sought deliverance, realizing they had been under a spell. The sick who had been healed found solace in true faith, and the city slowly recovered. However, some of her loyalists refused to believe the truth. They claimed she had been falsely accused and that she would return. Rumors spread that she had not truly died but had only disappeared. Some said they saw her spirit roaming the church, seeking revenge. Baba Dogo and other church leaders led a revival, cleansing the land through prayer and fasting. They called on people to return to God, teaching them to discern true prophets from false ones. Many who had been deceived found new faith and hope, their eyes opened to the deception they had followed for years. The government, in response to the scandal, began investigating other so-called prophets. The exposure of Elizabeth's dark practices led to a nationwide awakening. More churches emerged, teaching true faith and warning against the dangers of false miracles. The city of Lagos had learned a painful lesson. Though Elizabeth was gone, her story remained a warning to all. Her rise and fall became a tale told across Nigeria, a lesson about the dangers of blind faith and deception. Baba Dogo became a respected spiritual leader, guiding people towards the true light. Yet, in the shadows, whispers remained. Some claimed Elizabeth had left behind hidden disciples who carried on her dark practices. Others swore they still heard her voice in the dead of night. But one thing was clear, her reign of terror had ended, and the people had been set free.